Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Build Monger and welcome back to a brand new series. This is a brand new Minecraft SMP. Welcome to the Diamond Society server. So, guys, in today's episode, I will be working on this Chinese area with Green Matthias, who built this temple. I'm gonna be doing a basic collaboration with him, explaining what's going on before building all of these little kind of Chinese city shops and everything that you see before you here. So strap in, guys. I think this is gonna be a fun ride. Now, as always, I am looking for kind of a critique of my style and videos, so please feel free to tell me anything you did not like, but make sure to make it constructive. And if you do enjoy and end up liking the video, make sure to subscribe and maybe even hit that notification bell if you really enjoy it. So let's begin. Alright, guys, so I just got accepted onto this server a few days ago, and I'm currently setting up in basically the Chinese district, which Green Matthias has pretty much been working on this whole thing alone, including this awesome temple, this really cool gate, and this wall. And if you come a little bit past this wall, you'll see a little shrine over there, and that's super cool, but I don't really want to go towards it right now because I'm lazy. Anyway, he needs a little bit of help with it, and so yeah, I'm settling up in the Chinese district. And what do I mean by the Chinese district? Well, essentially, this Diamond Society server, Season 3, it was basically a Hermitcraft before Hermitcraft started, if you know what I mean. But not fully. I mean, this definitely came after Hermitcraft started, but I mean Season 6-wise. Season 6 added districts like medieval, modern, futuristic, fantasy, pirate, but in this, we have similar stuff. We have districts where different people are supposed to be building together, except most people have decided to kind of build their bases instead, or just do one person to a district, which is also completely fine. But it means there's a lot less interaction. So I kind of want to change that in the series. I want to be a nomad, but I'm definitely starting with the Chinese district because it's so cool. But basically, the other important thing is that these districts aren't based on general build themes. These are based on, pretty simply, they're based on ancient civilizations. We got a Chinese one, a Celtic one, which will be super cool to work on. We got an ancient Japanese one, which means that we really have to focus on like making the style as Chinese as possible to differentiate it from the Japanese style. So that's another thing. But in general, I am super looking forward to this server. But I just jumped in a call with Green Matthias about just some basic stuff about this area. So let's get into that. Alright, guys? Hey.
Hi, wait. Where are you?
I'm at the Frontier Castle.
Hi. Welcome to my
Alright.
valley. There's nothing much. And I actually packed you some gift over here.
Oh, wow. Wow.
This is mine.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry.
You can have the rest of this. This is sort of like my gift to you. This shulker box. You can have the shulker box
okay.
too. Sort of like
Nice.
a starter kit.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not much. I'm not rich. My shops are never successful.
But it'll start me off. It'll start me off. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So do you want a tour of this place? I mean, no, there's not much.
Well, I've seen a lot of it, but for the viewers, definitely. I really,
Okay.
I really like the use of the color in the build. I'll say that much.
Thank you. I'm trying to go for the more, how to say, a very classy, not classy, very expensive look. I would say
Well, that's
a very
fair.
bougie look.
I really do like the kind of yeah, the bright red and the melons. I love your use of both like pumpkins and melons in the base. That's Not something I see often.
So you can come to this little door over here.
Yep, and then the nether portal area, which is, I mean, that's the part that kind of I like the best. Is
Oh
definitely,
yeah.
definitely the nether portal building, especially with like the red nether brick. I have to say, red nether brick is probably my favorite block in Minecraft.
Me
At the
too, me
time.
too. But they're so difficult to get just because you need to mine a lot of nether blocks in order to get the blocks and you need to get
Oh yeah.
the wards, which I do not have. I have to pretty much go to the spawn area. They used to have one. So now I do not have it.
Well, that's fine. Uh,
Yeah.
as you can see, yeah, no, I really like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you're trying to go for a kind of a lavish, expensive look.
Yes.
So I think what I might do in this Chinese area is I might try and fill it up with kind of like, what am I saying? Like the poorer buildings, like poorer areas,
Sure, sure.
like the shops
Uh,
or whatever. Like, uh, are you following me? Oh yeah, I see
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
I have a choppy connection right now, is all.
It's
But
fine.
I'm gonna lay some stuff out if you don't mind.
Sure. If you're going to build, actually, I plan on terraforming, but honestly speaking, I'm really bad at terraforming, so I have really no plans. So you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Oh yeah. Well, looking at this, do you have any thoughts about what this main road is gonna look like?
Well, initially, my initial plan, like I say, I'm very slow. I'm very bad at doing timing stuff. Initially, I thought if just going the main road being here, just leading all the way to the palace, then there would be rows of maybe like smaller houses over here and rows of more smaller houses over here. I thought of putting my farms in the house, once I build the houses here. So yes, there's actually a very simple, I'll say, layout. You know what I mean?
Let me show you some of the kind of thoughts that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna kind of like mark out a few kind of building things. So like what I would do is I would kind of have like some shopping row houses almost.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And then what I would do is I would just connect them up, but I would move the scaffolding one back and everything. And do something like that. So I think that looks good. I'm not entirely sure just yet, but you know.
Yeah, I get your vision, and it's sort of line up with my vision in a way. So
Yeah.
I'm up for it.
Welcome back. Under the light of the temple, as you can see, I have done a little bit of work on the city below. So, as I mentioned, I want to kind of do a row of shops here, and I've got them laid out with log pillars. Again, these will kind of be temporary, or not really, but they will definitely be expanded upon. I've also added a little bit of a pavement on the floor, and eventually the entire valley will be covered in this pavement. So we got kind of polished andesite, we got stone slabs, we got stone, and we got ourselves, of course, stone brick. So that looks good. Now, as for the shops, I want to differentiate this from the Japanese area, which is kind of more of a peaceful kind of garden, town, community thing. And the problem with that is, a lot of the architecture is similar. So what I'm going to do is kind of try and make a bustling Chinese city. I'm kind of thinking about having like a little bit of a cart here with like some fruit in it or something, which I think would be super cool. Not entirely sure just yet, but we got to get started working. So these are the building materials in here that I'm going to use. We are going to use red nether bricks for one of the buildings, yellow terracotta for another, and white terracotta for a third. I also wanted to use stripped acacia bark for another, but we only had room for 3 in this particular plaza right here. We could definitely, once we expand it, make a building out of that, but no, these are definitely going to be simple, and that is not the level I'm supposed to be placing it on. So obviously, we don't have too much space, but we can kind of make just a very basic thing like this, and like so. And I'm kind of spitballing here. This is going to be very similar to what I've done in the past. And honestly, we can definitely save on a bit of like red nether brick here if we put like a different wall color right here, because no one's gonna see into this little gap because it's gonna be covered with logs. So definitely that could be an interior thing to worry about. But coming over here, I'm gonna grab the rest of my dark oak logs. They're in the chest. I'm an idiot. I was looking in the crafting table for my logs. I mean, that's not how the vanilla game works. Exactly. So we just kind of bring these up, and I think we're gonna bring these up another level, except we're gonna have kind of a 3 wide 2 high window right here, just like so. And we are again going to bring this up a bit, and we're gonna have kind of a very basic roof. How does that look? That looks not good at all. Not good at all. What happens if I segment this into 2 windows? Decent. I'm gonna keep that, I think. Just kind of get that, like, look to it. So I'm gonna probably have 2 windows on each side now. I just realized this is 6 wide, but you know what? Oh wait, this is 7 wide, so what I can do is just, basically do 2 here, 2 here. Which, yeah, that's perfect. And just do the exact same thing. So it's been a few days since the last clip, guys, and I have done a lot. I have made basically the entire block of street buildings here. So let's go down the list. We got the red nether brick building, of course, that we built on camera. This is kind of the smallest one, kind of like the cozy one, you know? Coming over here, we got the tall, kind of yellow one. I had a bit of trouble building this one because what ended up happening is I kind of ended up shifting the dimensions a little bit. So this log pillar, if you look over here, this log pillar right here is not on the same level as the other one. It's actually on the same level as this wall. So it gets really confusing, but it's hard-ish to see. It's easier to see with the roof on it, I'll say that, but right now I'm not really going to deal with that. And, yeah, so I use yellow stained clay. Wall-wise, though, I think the best one is this orange one. So I used stripped acacia wood, the bark blocks, and I used white terracotta for kind of a strip of just like interest, you know? And I don't know, it looks so cool, and I added some dark oak buttons for kind of visual interest. Alright, so that's all really cool. As for the roofs, I decided not to go with anything really special. I really just decided to kind of go with a very simple flat roof, but have it extend up on the corners. Remember, these are the poor people, basically. These are the guys who don't really have the money to do this or this. They live in the walls, so they can decorate with color, but they're not very good at, like, making big ornate roofs. I might request that Green Matthias do roofs on these things, but I think I might actually ruin the aesthetic of the shop buildings if they're, like, too triangular, honestly. Because the whole point is that they're, like, kind of in a row, and that they're kind of like, you know, flat-ish buildings. So, I don't know just yet. So those are some, just a few things to consider. But I do want to kind of try and build something real quick on camera. And that is, I want to just add a little quick detail to this road. Long story short, I want to sort of build a little bit of a cart. So it's going to be 4 blocks wide. So I'm going to put it right here and right here. And I'm just going to then go around with a trim of spruce like so. And I'm actually going to let myself pillar up here. So do something like this. We're just going to go around the entire perimeter and do something like so. And all this will do is just, you know, it'll give us like a little bit of a wall. And we're going to do the same thing with spruce slabs on the top. This is just creating a little bit of a cart, as you can see. And we are, after we're done with this, we are going to basically place in some top half slab blocks. If I can place correctly, that is. We're going to place in some top half slab blocks, and we are actually going to knock one of these down because I did accidentally make a mistake here. That one needs to get knocked off, and boom, and boom, and get back up there. So we got this little cart right here, and what we're gonna do with it is we're gonna take these melons, and we're just gonna make like a little bit of a pile of them as like goods or whatever that are being kind of taken to the temple over there. And I think that looks quite good. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I think it does look good overall. Yeah, it might be a little too big, and I think I'm gonna kind of remove the corners on this thing to make it just a little bit more, you know, bearable. Doesn't ruin the line of sight as much. But, you know, I mean, once all this sheep farming is done with, I can definitely expand the road. And yeah, no, the important thing is I think this melon stack is way too tall. That's another thing. Is I think I basically need to chop one off all of these melons, basically. You know? So I'm gonna do something like that. And you know what? I'm gonna do that. I think that looks pretty darn good. And yeah. And the last thing I think we're gonna want to do is place a few fence gates back here to kind of work as like the part of it that pushes the wheelbarrow or cart or whatever. I think that works. And you know what? I'm gonna remove these two dark oak trap doors right here, so it's more of a wheelbarrow type design. Maybe. I think I'll keep them for now. I don't know. I don't know just yet. But yeah, I don't know. I really like this, guys. I really like this. But I think that's about as much time as we have for today's episode. So if you enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I shall see you later, guys. Peace.